really great day. Definitely appreciate you all
You
taking
guys
the
can hear
time to
okay?
join us for another edition of Titan Talk. I'm Isaiah. Kilgoon is joining me today, and Travis is with us as well. Just gonna get right into it. Not gonna really sugarcoat anything. Last week was a really shitty week for everyone
Yeah.
here at Titan Forge. Everyone, has really been kind of processing everything, but we didn't want to take an extended break. We wanted to kind of get out in front of the community just because we know you all have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
You all are processing as well.
Appreciate it,
I'll just
Jonathan.
kind of throw it over to Alex to kind of
Appreciate it,
go
brother.
over everything.
I'll just, we're going to spend most of the day taking y'all's questions. It's been rough. Like Isaiah said, I put out a tweet. If you haven't seen it, I still use that godforsaken site for some reason.
Yeah.
And kind of talk through my feelings.
Look at their eyes, dude. You can see the sadness.
And
It's very,
just-
very sad.
right? Like we literally, like right before the show, Dandy just walked in because he's kind of dropping off his stuff, and it's really hard, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of great people that we lost as part of this, but despite it all, I am really hopeful for the future. I think even the vibe in here today has been really focused on kind of what's next. I'll let Travis talk more. Sorry, I wasn't going to talk too much at the beginning.
No,
I just
I mean,
get carried away.
yeah, Thursday was rough. Lost a lot of good people, but friends,
Yeah.
that's probably the hardest part. People that you like. I mean, even in the playtest that we tried to run on Friday, just took 10 seconds to just everyone kind of remember who we lost. It was rough. I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but we saw your feedback all weekend, and that was rough to see sometimes, like looking through Reddit. And I try to not look too much at streams and social media on Thursday, but I peeked in and watched throughout the weekend, and it's hard to imagine what our friends are going through.
Yeah.
But when I see all the feedback online, and just like what you posted, it's like you see that feedback, and it comes from a place where the passion and the anger and the sadness from the community is really like a testament to the community we've built, and how much people care. And it's like just like you said, the easiest thing to do would be just to curl up in a ball and quit. But the passion that we see from the community is what makes me want to keep driving so hard to make the game amazing. So that's what it is. It is a rough time, but that's what we want to kind of focus on as we start talking today, and we start to put together the plans for the upcoming releases, and try to really center around that core community that was the ones that were really lashing out and letting their emotions fly this weekend.
Yeah. And like Kilgoon said, we're going to spend majority of the show today just answering your questions, just because you all have a lot. But we do have just a short housekeeping bit that we wanted to go through, because Open Beta 3 did launch this morning.
Yeah, and I will say, like, before the show started, I saw in chat someone saying like they're going to dodge all the hard questions. They they don't really want to talk about it, right? Like, no, we wouldn't be here doing a live Q&A show 3 days later if we didn't want to talk about it, right? Like, we understand that you have questions, you have concerns, and we want to answer your questions. We probably won't be able to answer everybody's questions like everybody's Titans Talks, but we're going to try and pick out questions related to this as much as we can. I'm not going to, go for the, what about the wandering market questions, right? Like, the point of this is to talk about what happened and how we're moving forward. As a transition, we did ship an update today,
Yes,
right?
we did.
We're still on schedule as of right now for our one new God a week. And there was a lot of other.
Yeah, we just got Rama. We'll
features in
get
this
Achilles
update
on
that
the
we didn't
17th, I
talk
believe.
about before it shipped, that are kind of interesting, and we're going to run through real quick.
Yeah.
We're going to spend a lot of time on it, but I think it's worth calling out the good work that the team has done to make OB3 happen and to ship it today, because it's a good update. We got a lot of good stuff happening.
Cool. Well, I will bring up the laptop really quick. These notes are also live on smite2.com if anyone hasn't had a chance to check them out. But Open Beta 3, we had some new cross-gen and classic skins hit the battleground today. Lord Slashing
I
Fury,
haven't got
Frosty Fury
any
Killer,
codes from them yet,
Dark
but
Supreme
when I do
Nuad,
get the
Breakdown,
codes,
Izanami, and
one of our
Nuad.
giveaways is probably going to be
The
one of
Wanderer
those
Market
skins.
also launched today.
I haven't seen them
So
yet,
if
though.
you're interested in
I'm hoping
earning
it's the
any of
Fenrir
cool
one.
cosmetics as a part of the first
Or the new
collection,
one.
it is there for
Actually,
you.
they're all good.
Under gameplay, just some Smite parody things that went live today. Just changed the way that Titans and Phoenixes interacted with players in terms of targeting. They should match much more closely to the way that they work in Smite 1 and Smite 2 now.
Yes, and the like Titans getting stuck towards like on her pillar and other walls was a particularly abusable, annoying one. So I think it's good that we got that one cleaned up. Also, like the size of their AOE cleave means that like it's harder for.
If you just join us, they're just going to go over the
So,
updates
again, it's just trying
that
to
they
make
put out this morning,
balanced
and
more
then later on in the show,
Also,
they're going to
they
get into
changed to
all
match
what
weapons,
happened with
archers, now
all the
temporary
firings
focus
and all the
with when
craziness.
attacking it, just kind of in line with
And
Smite
supposedly
1.
they're going to take questions. So
Under general, just a few things that went live with this update. We added an unequip button to the God loadout page. So if
Yeah,
you
people have been asking for that for a long time.
accidentally equip a tracker and you didn't want it, you now have the ability to unequip that. We added a widget in the profile screen that shows all the different types of currencies that you may own. That way you can see everything at a glance. You can now enter practice with selected skins in the Gods collection menu. So if you're interested in trying out a skin before you pick it up, you're able to do that now. We added contextual ping through VGS and the minimap, so you can hold Alt on keyboard and mouse or hold the VGS button on controller to ping inside the game world. We raised the ranked level requirement to level 10 based off of player feedback. Also based on player feedback, we decreased the pause duration time from 3 minutes to 1 minute. This does not affect custom matches, though. It's still indefinite there. And then we also added a your turn to pick audio and alt-tabbed pop-up image in ranked conquest draft lobby, just to make it super clear that, hey, you're in ranked, it's your turn to pick, even if you maybe toggle it out. Under game modes, just made some changes to jungle bosses here, kind of messing with their TTK a little bit.
unfortunately, we did not get auto builds in this update. I already looked at the notes. In fact, we were looking at it before we started the stream, or before we started this portion of the stream.
Yeah, one of the big ones for Duel is that we can disable items by game mode now. So that tech allowed us to disable Lifebinder, which is a fine item in every other mode, but just kind of breaks the Duel mode. So good little fix, I think.
For Arena, we smoothed out some collision around the base walls and also improved camera collision behind the bases. And then last up for game modes, we disabled Amanita Charm and Assault, just because really strong item.
How am I supposed to have
meditation.
a 90% win rate in Assault going forward?
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. But outside of that, everything else in the patch notes is all the balance and stuff that we've talked about.
Yeah, I really
previously.
think they need to
If you
push
wanna head over
to
to
release those
Smite.com
auto
and
builds,
check out the
dude.
full patch notes, you are
Auto builds
more
is
than
going to
welcome to
allow the game to be
Yeah,
easier,
Reminder that Rama
and it's for
comes out
newer
today.
players or
Achilles
players
comes out
that
next week.
that
and then
don't want to go
we
through all the
will have
craziness
another
going through the
patch,
shop.
with
And it's going to make
another
more
god,
people want
right?
to play the
I
game.
believe the next
At
one
least the
is
arena
Artemis
side of the game. I don't
and
know about
Wheelish?
Conquest. I
Yes.
can care less.
I get confused about the order. We played both of them this morning. Wheelish
I would be
actually has
playing
a
more
whole
Smite
video
2 if they had
on
auto
it,
builds.
which I don't think we've shown yet.
No, yeah.
So definitely.
And I'm not a
we're
newbie to the game.
grinding away.
Yep.
And I don't know.
That's
if you wanna talk a
what's
little bit
that's
about,
what's turned me
kind of
away
where our
from playing
focus
as much
is.
as I
Yeah.
played Smite 1
like,
back
as
in the
we're
day,
grinding away, or,
is because I
and then
can't
we
stand
can
not having auto
start taking
builds, dude.
questions.
Yes.
I think so. First,
We'll see.
Let's touch on though that Rom being live today. That was Lermy's God. You know, hearts to Lermy in the chat. You know, appreciate all your hard work and hopefully Rom is doing Smite 2 some justice from your behalf. And then Achilles, I think was Ro. And so as we get Achilles next week, shout outs to Ro. So the focus, this week we're having to, pick up some pieces and trying to put together a good plan for how we move forward. Just like Alex said, I think we probably were playing 8 gods today in the playtests that aren't live. So we are still making some pretty good progress on those characters.
Yeah, but he
the
might have a
focus
different
primarily
kit
going
from
forward
Smite
is gonna
2. We're going to
be,
have to test him out and see.
As we've had meetings the last
He
couple
might
of
even
days
have an
about our
aspect. I don't know
current
if they brought him with an
and-
aspect or not. I
and
have to
who
look.
we feel like we need to be focused on in the next couple of months, especially. And around October, we kind of made this same commitment where we wanted to make sure that everything we were doing in the game was geared towards the core players. That's really everyone that's in this chat watching this Titan Talk, it's the most engaged content creators. We want to make sure that we're making a game that they love, because it's not worth talking about, bringing necessarily in a ton of new players if the core doesn't believe that the game is in a great spot. So since October, we committed primarily to them, and we kind of made sure that we service them with the God migrations and get the game in a great spot.
I would say the core gameplay, right? Because that's the thing that matters the most to hardcore people that love Smite 1, right? Because they already have gone through the learning cliff needed to enjoy Smite, and they're judging Smite 2 more against Smite 1 than against other like current games, right? So like certain things that feel like a huge improvement from Smite 1, maybe like compared against other games are not quite at that level yet. We know we need to get there, but that just hasn't been the focus yet.
Yeah, that's right. And so we want to make sure that, as we move forward, the plan makes sure that we service the core players. And, secondarily, we want to make sure that the core players have some things that they are allowed to, get them some of the skins that they're wanting into the game. The wandering market coming live now. It's like give the core players, a way to, find, help support the game that they want to stay alive. And like in this time where we're having to make these, cuts,
that roving market is an idea one of these guys had.
So we
to start bringing in some type of income.
Trying to get some of those types of things in that we've largely not focused on the last 4 months. So we want to make sure we're doing that. Then the next thing that
hopefully it works.
Is make sure that we're still giving the core players the systems that they are missing and that they really want to focus on. And as we're building out the systems, we want to make sure that core players are the defining group that we're building them for. And then secondarily, if any features could help new players as well, then it's core players and new players is what the focus would be on first. After everything, if it's anything that's on the schedule that doesn't service those two groups, we're removing from the schedule as we're going forward. So we're going to spend this week reevaluating our schedule and reprioritizing things based on that, and we'll get that built out.
I'm gonna have to send these guys an email. I'm gonna have to contact these guys and talk to them before they start the schedule, dude, because I don't think they understand how important those auto builds are to the game, dude.
The fourth bullet is to focus
that would
on
bring
players.
so much
Get them
traffic
into
into
the game
Arena. I'm
only
telling you,
after
it'd
we
bring
focus.
so many players back to Arena. I've heard so many people say they're that's what they're missing is the auto builds, being able to turn it on, turn it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's do
I've
it.
got YouTube.
Wouldn't be
chat
that hard to
on
do.
as well. I know. Somebody
What's
was
up,
asking
Blue?
About that. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you're more than welcome to ask questions as well.
Yeah, Travis and I cannot see YouTube chat, so Isaiah will have to be picking up the questions from YouTube, but we will just kind of answer things. Yeah.
I think I did see one question about the God frequency going forward.
Yeah.
Over the next couple of months, you can expect to still see, I think, like I said, like we had Achilles next week, and then we have Artemis, I think is the next one after that, or Wheelish, and then
Bari.
And then Bari. We are going to be committed to those. We know that we're going to want to release those on that same cadence. How we spend this week and evaluating where do we want to spend the majority of our time on God migrations versus, classic skins versus cross-gen versus those types of things really is going to help us define the content release plan that we're going to go forward with. But for now, you can expect at least that, and and then we'll share with you as soon as we have the rest figured out.
Yeah. So essentially, we're gonna keep doing one God a week as long as we can, right? Keep doing one, but then almost certainly it'll go to like a God every 2 weeks at some point in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I wanted.
There's a lot of people asking us to focus more on skins. We need funds and people want to help. I think, we definitely are having those conversations internally. I think part of what people are upset about too is, there aren't enough classic skins, right? And some people that are in this chat have a ton of diamonds that they can just, of legacy gems that they can just get all of those, right? And that's
Dude, nobody
okay.
gives a
There's
damn
also
about no
people that
classic
don't
skins.
have that many legacy gems. So we're talking about how we can get more classic skins over, how we can make sure we have kind of a regular cadence of skins, but just kind of what the right balance is, right? Because if we just dropped new skins that you couldn't get with your legacy gems, and that would be
Achilles is usually pretty good.
We made, so we're trying to figure out like how do we do both, and how do we also get the cross-gen skins that we're missing, right? You know, we stopped all skin production for a little while, and you know, one of the biggest like support tickets we get right now is, where is this cross-gen skin that I already bought, right? And that sucks, and we need to get those in the game. So yeah, there's it's something that we're thinking about. We also our UI team, you know, it's been hard, but everybody's really just like jumped in and been like, okay, well, how do we solve things? How do we make things better? And in an afternoon, a person on our UI team threw together a very simple single page store. So we can actually have kind of like a featured, here's the new stuff store page. So that'll be coming relatively soon. Like, you know, I think internally we're definitely putting a little bit more focus on that. Not that we're going to go too hard on it, because we know that we still need to release gods really regularly. We know that there's other in-game features we need, but we are definitely putting a little more focus on it.
Yeah, I see several questions across YouTube and Twitch, all kind of towards the same tune. So I'm just gonna choose one, and we can talk about it. But it's how can we feel any good about investing time and money into the future? It seems like the pattern is that Smite does well, then we get blindsided, and things seem to get worse on the corporate side of things.
I think this is probably not the right answer, but nobody's future is guaranteed, right? Not to be morbid, but like, I could get into a car crash and die on the way home, right? Like, in life.
No, you're not. You can't.
No, but I'm just saying, like, the way that I have always lived my life as a gamer is I play whatever game I am having the most fun playing right now. And I think most people live their lives in the same way. We are very fortunate that a lot of people think Smite is the most fun game that you can play. There's a lot of people in chat today because they believe that. There's a lot of people who've been playing this game for a decade, just like me, because they believe that. I'll go play another game for a little bit, but I always come back to Smite, right? And I think that we have this amazing core community that loves Smite above all else. And as long as that community is around, I think that Smite will continue to have a life, right? Like all things, you know, it will ebb and flow over time, right? I would almost guarantee there will be another great time in the future, and there will be another, oh my God, everything's over time in the future, right? I mean, even if you look at a game like Counter-Strike, right? Like when Counter-Strike first switched to CSGO, it was like dead, you know, because everybody was like, oh no, it's not as good as Counter-Strike Source, which isn't as good as CS 1.6. And then, you know, it took a while, but they ended up back on their feet once they got things going. I'm not saying that we're going to be Counter-Strike. Like, we're obviously, Smite is inherently a little bit of a more niche game than Counter-Strike could ever be, but play what you have fun playing, and don't worry so much about what people are saying, as long as you're having fun, right? I play a lot of old dumb games that nobody likes anymore because I like them, and I'm having fun, and that's life. So that's I don't know if that's the right answer or not, but that's the way I would answer that.
Yeah, I think it's fair. It's like every game that I play play the game because it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm arguably I'm not in the communities of all the games that I do play, but I play what I think is fun, and as long as we keep committed to creating a fun game and that feels great to play, then I think we'll be okay.
Yep. Let's see. So I'm trying to not pick actual gameplay questions today.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm writing down the notes for, like, can we get ult cooldown on VVVD? Can we get 2x worshippers in arena? I swear that was fixed, but maybe not. Yeah. So I'm sitting here writing down bugs like crazy. Yeah. So
so I can answer this one. Why were the layoffs necessary? At the end of the day, we are a business, right? And
yeah, I put together a question, but I don't know if it's the best time to ask it. But if they start taking questions, I'll cut and paste it in there.
And we invested a lot of money into the development of Smite 2, and we have been spending more than we have been bringing in for quite some time.
Yes, Smite 1 updates are dead. They're gone. You won't get another Smite 1 update.
Where we had a lot of hope going into free to play that we would re-engage a lot of lapsed Smite players, that
they haven't announced Apollo yet.
Get a new audience of people that are willing to try the new free to play game. And our projections were very, I would say, realistic. I don't think that we were, we weren't saying the game was going to be Fortnite or anything, right? I think we had pretty realistic projections. And though we exceeded them in certain ways, we actually did a better job bringing over Smite 1 players than we thought we were going to, like current Smite 1 players. People that are over are playing more than we thought they were going to play. The general sentiment among people that like the game is higher than we thought it was going to be, probably. But unfortunately, for the truly new players that came into the game, they didn't really stick around very well. And a lot of the people and there weren't very many of them, to be clear. And also, we didn't get as many old people or old Smite players to come back and try Smite 2 yet as we had hoped. We still think that there's opportunity for this in the future, and I can talk a little bit more about that in a second. But when those numbers didn't pan out, it pretty quickly became clear that if we did nothing, we would risk everything. If we just continued on our current path with our with our previous staffing levels and our previous expenses, we would run out of money at some point. I'm not going to say exactly when, but we would run out of money at some point, and we would not be able to keep Smite going. So this move, as again counterintuitive as it may seem, was needed to get our costs down to where they were in line with how much money we're making, so that we can keep doing this for the foreseeable future, so that we have more time to keep making the game better. We'll have to do it with a smaller team, which sucks, but this secures more of a future for Smite than we would have potentially had if we had just bet the house on keeping everybody and, try and turn the numbers around.
They just didn't have the financing to keep that many people, man.
I think, like I said,
they just didn't have
room to improve the numbers, right? I think
they're hemorrhaging money.
A lot of room, but I think that to risk everything on that hope would have been irresponsible, not just for us, but also for the community that loves playing this game.
Yeah, it's sad, dude. Plus, a lot of people are mad.
Has Hi-Rez talked to investors? I can't comment much on that. Over the years, we've, of course, had several comments with a lot of people that, have had interest in various things. The way the market is right now, it's hard to get investors in gaming projects in general. That doesn't mean that it's not something that could theoretically
sadly
happen. I don't have anything.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I wasn't there, but sadly, sometimes the word comes from up top, and it's just somebody says, we need to cut this many people, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And then it really sucks, because the guys below are the ones that have to break the news and actually decide who dies and who lives. You know what I'm saying? It's very sad and very hard. And it's never the guys up top doing this. Some poor guy, some poor schmuck at the bottom that has to do this to their own brothers and sisters that they've been working for years. You know what I'm saying? It's a real dick move. But I mean, that's business, man.
Than Xbox Series X and a PC. Obviously, PC is widely variable, but I did notice that, and it's something that we are going to dig into to make sure that that's the highest. Basically, because the game thread's high on the PS5, for some reason, it does limit their frame rate based on the highest cost thread, and so because game thread is high on PS5, if we can solve that, it'll help improve performance across the board on PS5. So we're going to be looking into that.
I've seen a couple people ask Kilgoon. I'm not sure if you have anything that you could share regarding esports updates.
I don't have any updates at this time, but sometime soon. I think
right now. First they said there were going to be no esports. Then they said there might be some type of esport. So now esports is up in the air. We don't know if we're going to have esports or not. I mean, me personally, I can care less.
I did see one that I kind of do want to respond to because I feel bad about it. Some people felt like it was very insensitive that we had Lermy on Titan Talk the day before the layoffs when she ended up being affected. I will say, yeah, in retrospect, probably shouldn't have done that. I think just to kind of talk through how it happened, Isaiah books the people that are going to show up on the show and gets it straightened out. He didn't know the extent of the layoffs and that Lermy was included. So it was kind of one of those weird situations where how do you uninvite somebody without making them be more worried about their future? And I thought at the time,
yeah, but how do you delete? How do you fire that many people without giving them a chance to prepare? Without giving them heads up, without giving them 2 weeks of notice, you know what I'm saying? If they were quit, they would have to give 2 weeks notice.
Take responsibility for.
I mean, it's ridiculous, dude. Unless they're still getting paid for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I don't
So
know.
Lermy, if she's watching, I'm sorry to
But it was just like overnight, your ass is gone. That's just BS, dude. At least give them a chance to freaking prep.
I saw another couple questions.
I mean, these people have families, you know what I'm saying? It's so stupid.
Are you going to turn off the Smite 1 servers? No, not at this time. Even with the reduced player base, I believe Smite 1 is bringing in enough money to pay for the servers and keep the lights on. And even if it didn't, we would probably
not
keep the servers on
anymore.
for longer.
Ain't nobody gonna buy crap from Smite 1.
No intent to shut down the Smite 1 servers at this point.
But they are gonna whittle them down to less servers. They can't BS me, dude. Come on.
There's a lot of questions about like what's our average player count from all platforms and how many players are we expecting and stuff. Players is one of those things that we can't really talk about just because it's like company numbers stuff. But we've said publicly before that console is between.
As of this morning, there was about 7,200
50%
players
roughly
before
of
the
our
stream.
player
I
base,
checked it. There was
and that's
7,200
directly
players
true,
on
right?
Steam.
It's between
playing
a half
Smite
and
2.
2/3 depending on
It peaked
the month
last
and
night
the-
at 12,000 and some
what's going on in
change.
the games, and if it appeals more to
So
us
the
or
numbers
not.
are not bad.
I think that
All
as a
things
person who's played
considering,
a lot of
right?
Smite 1 on console, I think that there's a lot of work that we need to do to make Smite 2 a better console experience. I think the
Yeah,
item
hopefully
store
these guys got
has
some
a ton
parting,
on console.
some money, dude, because this
where
is
it's
bull
like,
crap.
After you buy something, you
But
often
I
have
mean,
to
that's
give it back.
business, dude.
One of
It's
the
still
things
bull
in
crap.
using an item store on console that I think is crucial, which is crucial for PC too, is like, and I think one of the big reasons why people don't like our current system of having components that build into a tier 3 instead of having like tier 1, tier 2 is because it used to be in your inventory, you could click on the thing that you were building and instantly get to the thing you were trying to build. And that's hugely important on console. And currently in Smite 2, you click on it, it takes you to that component. And then it's like, oh shit, I got to find the tier 3 I was building again. So we need to make the item remember what it was building into. And when you click on it, pull up that tier 3 grid. And I think that'll solve a lot of problems that people have with the item store across both sides. And people are talking about custom builds. Yeah, dude, like custom builds is one of the big UI features that is still on our radar that we're trying to figure out how we prioritize because we know that's a big one for people. Another one, it's like there's just so much item store clunking on console. Like if you
They just said it. They're going to keep it on their docket. It's going to be it's one of the top things he said. So
is if you buy a consumable,
I don't have to cut and paste my question because that sure as hell was my question.
Multiple consumables, and then if you do buy a second consumable, it doesn't make any sound because it only makes a consumable for the first consumable in a stack. There's just so much shit that we got to fix. But like the core gameplay feels really good, and that was our focus, which is why a lot of this item store stuff and whatnot hasn't been prioritized. But you know, I think the console version can be better. I think the console version has a lot of potential to grow.
I've seen it a couple times in YouTube chat, but do we have a plan on how we're going to handle all the work that was being owned by people that were affected last week?
Yeah, that's the majority of the effort this week. Trying to find per department like the holes that we're just like.
Yeah, I agree, Blue. I mean, hell, they've been running Smite 1 for 12 years. They don't have to reinvent the wheel. The only thing that changed was the software. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
we had a lot of
the recipe for success was already there. They just had to improve on it. I mean, building on their mistakes, you know what I'm saying? They had 12 years to make the mistakes and said it. I just don't understand it.
Since October has been just always be patching, making sure that we're
I think where they screwed themselves is the transition. Like I told you guys in yesterday's stream, right? Smite 1 was their bread maker, their money maker. They should have never, ever went public with Smite 2 until it was ready. to almost ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Chris Dixon got double diamonds.
and we didn't.
They should have kept it as a closed alpha until they at least had 50 gods and worked out as many bugs as they could, and then had to open it up so they can stress test it. That way they could have still been making money off Smite 1 the whole way, and then they can transition to Smite 2 slowly, building up revenue, and once the revenue started looking good, then go full blown, you know. But hindsight's 2020, dude. And like I said, you got these people up top making these decisions. These guys ain't making decisions. They're just worker bees. There's some jackass upstairs that probably doesn't even play the game making these decisions. I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm not there. But I just think that they made a very, very big mistake by bringing Smite 2 to the public just that quick, man. That was a very big mistake. It wasn't ready, man. It wasn't ready.
We're going to try to squeeze this
Founders Edition should have not gone on sale until the game went into
I
beta.
have 3 quick ones.
They should have had a closed alpha the whole way. We had more than enough people testing this. I mean, hell, we had over 150 some content creators
why didn't we wait to lay people off
checking this
how
out.
much money the
I know, because I was one of them.
This is a very fair question. This is something we've seen.
Yeah, they fumbled. I agree, Alex. It was a very bad transition.
And because so many people have purchased,
It's very heartbreaking, yeah.
Or just log in every week or whatnot. We found that most of our engaged players already had enough currency to buy the Wandering Markets sitting in their inventory. So it's highly unlikely that this first Wandering Market actually makes
No,
sense.
Smite 2 is not going to stop.
I think
As
it's
of
a
right
really
now,
good
they
system.
can't stop it.
Regardless
If
of how much
Smite
it
2
makes, it's
flops,
something to play for.
everybody you see
The
here
more
is out of a
things to
job.
do,
Hi-Rez will die
for.
if Smite 2 flops.
And it's
They can't
possible
afford,
that it
all their
fixes
eggs are
it
now
with
are in one
the
basket. They
But,
cannot
it is-
afford for this game to die. If it does, they're
scale of
done.
money that it would need to make to
The
justify
75 people that are left at Hi-Rez
being able
are out of a
to
job.
people
They might as well
is
start putting resumes at Epic.
It was extremely, extremely, extremely unlikely that that was going to happen. So it's a very fair question, but you know, I think we felt pretty confident that it
But I
wasn't
guarantee you
really
one thing,
that
man. Now these guys seen their brothers and sisters that they spent their months, years, every day within the office get chopped. That's going to put some fire under their ass to make sure they're putting out some good content now, dude, because they know that they're just one screw up away from getting fired. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to cause for some really a lot of tension in that office, and there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to probably start facing some burnout, dude, and anxiety for sure. So I don't know, dude. That's going to be, I bet you it's going to be rough working there now.
You could forecast what the first one would.
And of course, like you're saying, they're going to take in the workload of all these people they fired. I mean, it's going to be bad, dude. For the first 2 or 3 months, I bet you it's going to be rough up there.
You know, we have to get it out there, but we were able to math what the numbers would be.
And Gillian, do you have one more?
Oh, I did, but I lost it. I'm sorry. I took a note on something else that was a thing that we need to fix. But anyway,
Even though I don't play Susano anymore. Yeah, I don't play them that much. It's because of all the chain CC, dude. There's just Smite 1 just got too much chain CC.
But
I might try him in Smite 2.
How was the question phrased? I'm not sure if you can speak to really any of it, Kilgoon, but basically there's been a lot of discussion and rumors circulating in the community over the past weekend about potential acquisition of Hi-Rez or the Smite IP.
yeah, there is, as far as
They wouldn't
I'm
be able to
aware,
talk
there
about
is
it. They'd be under
nothing
NDA.
currently planned. It's possible that some discussions are happening at a level
These
that I'm not
guys would
privy
not
to,
know.
but I would
Just
find
like
it
the
highly
firing.
unlikely.
So do you think,
for people that
honestly
don't know,
think
it's
that
probably
these
worth
poor
talking
guys
about.
would know if the company was getting sold, but
so
not know that their friend sitting next to him was going to get fired? I mean, come on,
Hi-Rez
dude.
Ventures
The
is
same
the
people
company.
upstairs that put the freaking axe to these people are the same people that would decide if the company's getting sold or not. These poor bastards are going to find out the company's sold the day before they got to be out the door. I mean, the way they're going now, I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, these guys don't know. The people that know are the guys up top.
Titanforge, so he is in charge of the studio that is making Smite, and I am the executive producer of Smite.
Yeah.
In things where Travis is too busy to deal with them, I take over. So like the
Unless there are leaks, there's never leaks from the top when it comes to making money. Because if there's ever a leak, it can cause them the deal.
And what the company's
The leak is going to be after the deal is done, and then they're going to have to break it to these poor bastards.
At this point, right?
and they're going to be like, holy crap, dude.
If there was a layoff, excuse me, if there was any opportunity to sell the company, we probably would have been made aware of it. So I do not expect that to happen.
Well, hell, just like Lermy and Dandy, those guys didn't expect to get fired. You know what I'm saying? There's so much uncertainty there that these poor guys are going to be working, or gals. When I say all inclusive, these guys, all these people at Hi-Res, dude, they're going to be like anxiety crazed. You know what I'm saying? Are we getting fired? Is the game getting sold? I bet you that's what's going to be for the next 6 months, man.
And as I see even the debate happening,
so hopefully people, you know, if things don't happen as fast as some people would hope they would do, they give them, you know, some slack. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, dude, that this is craziness.
And it's basically the balance of all those things, and then
straight up craziness.
Take the significantly larger arc of
a lot of people forget these are real life people. You know what I'm saying? These guys are people with feelings, with families, you know, with bills. They're worried, man. Look at their eyes. You can see the worry in their eyes. You can't fake this crap. These guys aren't playing around. Look at their eyes. I've seen this type of devastation before. It's not cool.
We know that we want to give players the opportunity to buy some stuff, so we want to make skins, but
it's very sad.
New gods, just in general, take the longest amount of time. So it's not like we want to stop new gods, but we have to find the right cadence that allows us to get those while also doing the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, and I will say, like, the slowest cadence that we're talking about internally.
Yeah, brother, but the corporate world makes you money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at these guys. They're still young. You know what I'm saying?
Some amount of all new gods as well, you know. But
the corporate world, I made a lot of money in the corporate world. I'm not gonna lie. When I was working in the corporate world, asking, like, from the minute I punched into work in the morning to lunchtime, just in that short time, the money I made from punching in the morning to lunchtime was more money than my channel has made since I'd say for the last 4 years. 4 years of revenue for this channel, I made just between punching in my first day at work and lunchtime. That's how much you make in the corporate world.
And we do not make that process.
So I don't hate on them for being in the corporate world. It's just, you know, some people at the top of these corporate situations don't know how to run an organization, or blind, or complacent. They get complacent. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not there. I haven't met their upper ups, so it is what it is. But from past experiences, I've seen it, dude. You get these people that come from various different backgrounds that have nothing to do with the freaking organization they took over, and then they end up shit in the bed, and it's the people at the bottom that end up paying for it.
And you know, like Marvel Rivals will, if you lose a game against real people, they'll have you play bots again. So
but starting your business is not as easy as it sounds, man.
In Smite 1, you only play bots up until level 5.
I got to the second highest military rank, enlisted rank in the U.S. Army. The second highest rank. It took me 27 years to do this. When I retired, I walked into Lockheed Martin.
For new players.
Walked in. I retired, and walking into Lockheed Martin, I was making almost 25% more starting in Lockheed than I did at 27 years in the military. You know what I'm saying? That's how powerful the corporations are.
Bringing in new players.
It blew my mind, dude. Blew my mind.
We are blessed that we get a certain number.
So if you ever get a chance to work for defense, especially Lockheed, dude, jump on it. You probably have some bad days. The work sucks every now and then, but I tell you what, you're gonna make a crap ton of money.
Those metrics around to where when these new players that just come into the game because they think it looks interesting, actually think it's interesting. And
sadly, you need to know somebody there, dude, because it took.
And that starts to show.
If you don't know nobody there, the chances of getting there are very hard.
To go find new players.
Yeah, Alex, I know, right?
In terms of like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's very hard. You have to know somebody. I got lucky. There's a Marine that was working there, and he didn't have an Army guy on his payroll, so he gave me a chance, and then I became one of his best dudes. So.
The platforms, including a potentially very interesting one that I can't.
Of course, they helped that my wife kind of lateraled my resume too,
to bring people in, and
because she was a program manager with Lockheed,
making sure that when they do get in, they have a good time, because right now they're not. And dude, like, what was the number that you pulled? There was a bug the first weekend where the bots were, again, you guys think the bots are garbage, right? the bots were beating new players 80% of the time.
Yes.
80% of the time.
Yeah. And I think that, I mean, that was obviously a bug, but that's the average bots.
Yeah.
Right. And so we obviously had to do a lot of work because that's the only bot matches you could play right now.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of work to bring the bots way down.
Yeah, where are those bots at, right?
I was basically playing the arena tutorial.
If that's the case, put some bots on my team when we have Reapers and bots on our team instead of for some of these pugs, man.
30-3 or whatever, just
I
just
want to face that.
But
now I want to go against some of these bots. Let's put a Reaper squad against some of these bots, man.
the same frame that I was stunning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, this is supposed to be the easiest intro into the game, and they were using relics.
We're gonna have to put a hit squad together and go bot hunting. I want to face some bots now.
Now we even
I want the
labeled it
challenge.
easy so that new players coming in understand it's easy, and then you guys that are playing the game all the time.
Yeah, bots suck, dude. They can't think for themselves. They don't know strategy.
Then create now some mediums and hards. Mm-hmm. Some of these bots, the medium and hard bots, are actually crazy. Mm-hmm. Like I tried to play against whatever.
But I mean, think about it though, right? A bot can't miss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got auto-aim. So a bot cannot miss.
That because anecdotally,
the only advantage you have is that bot can't rationalize. It can't think for itself. It's going to do what it's programmed to do.
But anyway, he spent 2 months playing that.
But it won't miss. Their hunters won't miss. They'll hit you every freaking time.
And then he came 2 months later, and he's like 16, 17. He was like, he just didn't have the confidence to play. So
I don't know.
That's what I want to make sure that we are giving players.
I have no idea,
a way to play the game that they can get 2 months of confidence before they go and play their first PvP.
Dude, all they gotta do is give us our freaking auto builds. I mean, if they gave us our auto builds, new players to the game would be less stressed at taking too long in the store, not knowing what the hell they want to pick. They got people in the chat talking shit, calling them names because they're taking too long. They think they're AFK, and then they say, the hell with this game, I don't even want to play it. You know what I'm saying? They need to give us custom-made auto builds. That's all there is to it.
What changed from the plan that led us here? Financially,
and they need to start posting their items on their damn website. How can we study these items and know what to build? If they don't even have these items on the website, you literally have to go into the game and do a practice to see what items are available. It's ridiculous. I would like to be able to sit on my bed on my iPad, and look and see and start studying the items.
Should be coming in
start,
from people buying
thinking about various different builds, like I used to do with Smite 1. And then in the morning, I have a list of builds I want to try out, and then I test them out against bots, hard bots, and then I take them to the arena. Can't do that right now.
Every game that we've ever put out.
Where's your bestie Olivia? She was here yesterday.
Most of the revenue comes from. Yeah. So really the thing that led to this was not hitting the player number projections that we were forecasting, particularly along returning players and new players.
I'm telling you, dude, I've had so many players
are playing the game more than we
tell me,
right? They're
whether
really
through behind Discord or comments in my videos, is the reason they tried Smite 2 and they don't like it because they don't understand the shop. They're intimidated by it. They want to just get in the game and play. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to worry about that. If I do a build video, they'll try the build video. They want to be able to take my builds or whatever build, any build, plug it in and just play the game, dude. Go in and start. Don't have to worry about looking for crap in the store. Don't worry about clicking your abilities. They just want to play, dude.
Given the knowledge,
that's what these people don't understand.
Did I make the best decision that I could?
Now, yeah, you got those hardcore people that they're all about that. That's fine. Giving us auto builds is not going to hurt the people that don't want to use auto builds. You know what I'm saying? Just don't freaking use them.
Right.
But it's definitely going to help those that do.
Get a lot more people, no matter what we did. Right. So the options were kind of to go really, really slowly on Smite 2. So by the time it finally got done, it might be 6 years from now.
Friendly reminder on your Thanatos build, someone walked in an arena match and walked out with 20 kills. Yeah. Sometimes they work, don't they? Sometimes they definitely work.
Smite 1 nearly as frequently without telling people why we were doing it or
people play these games
just not
to
do
fun
this might
to
be
be
project
to enjoy
management,
themselves, and it's
which,
hard to enjoy yourself when you're
I
sitting there
think
for
we
5 minutes trying to figure out what
believed
the hell
in,
to
we still
buy. You know what I'm saying?
believe in, because
And I'm just speaking for
Smite
Arena.
1
I don't give a
is-
shit about any other mode.
it's
Tell you the
like,
truth.
we've said it before. It's kind of a technological dead
Your
end,
kills are
right? It's
30?
stuck on UE3. There's a lot of just kind of core issues.
That's why I
with
haven't
it
been
that,
doing build
we
videos
can't
because
even, like, hire people to fix
it's
anymore
at this
'cause it's so
point
old. And
it's very difficult
I
for
think that, like,
people to even use them.
also just like no matter what we do for UE3, it's gonna look and feel like a UE3 game. And there was no path to get it onto modern consoles, which is another huge part of this that most of the community doesn't ever talk about. But like getting it running natively on the new consoles is very important for like visibility and players being willing to give it a chance and treating it as like a current game. So for those reasons,
Yeah,
a lot
dude,
more,
I'm
we
not
felt
playing
like
freaking
making Smite
Conquest
2
to
was
me is
the
like being in
right
special
answer.
ops, dude.
So then
You're
the
doing
question
like
was just,
90% of the
best way to
match
make
is
that transition?
building up and
at the
prepping
time,
and,
we
and
felt like
building
the best
up,
thing to
and then
do
you
was
get
to
that
say,
10% at the
we
very
need
end
to
of
get
actual
Smite 2
fun. You know what I'm
going.
saying? And I
The
can't
only
be
way
in,
you can do it
I
kind of
can't do that for
not
30
just
to minutes,
like
45 minutes, an
Smite
hour.
franchise
The hell with
is to
that. I
say,
tried Conquest, dude. I literally
we're
almost
gonna
fell asleep.
slow down on
It was
Smite 1,
so
we're gonna
damn
announce Smite 2 probably
boring.
earlier than we want to.
And then you got to know
And
what
we're
lane to
gonna-
do
we're
and
gonna
who,
develop
what
this game in
damn
public.
camps to go
And I think
to.
developing it
Dude,
in
I
public
ain't got
has
time
been-
for all that.
There's been a lot of pros.
It's
that
too
come
damn
out of it, but there's also
complicated.
been a lot of challenges.
And then
that come out
people
of it because,
expect you to know all
when
this
we
like
first
the
talked
first
about it,
time you
we thought
play.
it was
Well, what the hell? You know, supposed to get the jungle
and
camp?
again,
Dude, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
You know, I'm
I
the one
don't.
who
Even, where
wrote
the
that
hell's the
script.
jungle? You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I
guess I did
first
not
started
make it
playing that
clear
game, I
enough
was like, the hell with
it was still
Conquest,
a-
man. I tried
and,
Conquest
I
maybe
could've
4
said it
times in my
in
life.
that script.
Early, like 5-6 years ago when I started playing this
anyway,
game. And every time the people were so toxic, I said,
about
screw
the
this. I will never play Conquest ever again.
But no, like we did. It's at the time it felt like we were making the right decision. And as I look back, if I try and put myself back in,
But
my
I've played
headspace at that
other
point,
modes.
knowing
I just
what
Arena's the
knew
one I
then,
like because
I
it's
think I would've made the same decision.
constant fighting,
Because the
dude.
promise of
Constant
Smite
engagement.
2, I still believe far exceeds what we would have gained by having Smite 1 limp along for a few years before we announced it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think bringing Smite 2 to the players early helped us make sure that we were focused on the right things. We could have done any number.
It
of things,
screwed them.
especially, like,
They
you
can
know,
say whatever the hell they
we
want.
did
It
last
screwed
time.
them. I
We
don't care what they
could've
say.
focused
It
on new
screwed
players,
them.
Right? We could have focused on skin content. We could have focused on making the gameplay, the core of the gameplay better. If
They
we'd
should
done
not
all
have
three of
released
those
Smite
things,
2 this early. They should have
think
waited a
we
little bit longer until it was
in a worse
more
spot,
a bigger
honestly.
package, dude.
Oh hell no! You know, focus on the core of the game,
Right?
Then you know who would be here. The core players needed a better foundation for the game.
See, what these people don't understand
So
is
I think it's just
they're
natural that
they're
we're at the
thinking
point now where
in a
we know
perfect world.
to pivot a little
Even
bit.
though the
Or
game was an
we're in a good
alpha,
spot. Now we need
people
to-
that bought those founders
now we need to
editions, they
develop new
paid
players. Now we
money.
need to think
Not
about
everybody,
competition
but
or-
some people
or
paid
skins
money
or
for it
something.
and
But without
expected it to
doing
be
that,
the game.
for the last
They
12 months,
expected to
I think
have the stuff.
we would've just
So
been
when they were,
in a worse position, honestly.
you know, the game was still in alpha, they got pissed off because the game wasn't Smite 1. It wasn't as good as Smite 1. You know, we don't have all this. So then they started bashing the
All right,
damn
look,
game.
Show of hands. Who wants
And
to
then
play
all
games?
everything spiraled down because people don't understand the concept of alpha. The average player does not understand it.
Yeah, see, I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any action.
That's why they made it. That's why I said they should never went public with that alpha until they had at least a 50 guys and they were ready to go. And then they needed to stress test the system and work out the bigger bugs. And then they should have went. And beta is when they should have went and opened up the freaking founders
The only
editions.
real question I saw during this
But
meeting,
I mean, it is what it is.
how
That's just
Stephen Jr. doing?
my 2 cents.
My son's doing great. He's a month old now, and you know, just doing baby things.
I'm kind of happy only that Weekend got screwed. How did he get screwed?
New picture every day, so he's doing great.
Yeah, he's looking good.
I take it you don't like Weekend.
He just chuckles every once in a while. I look over and he's got a picture up on his screen. With
Yeah, my wife sends me
a
pictures
cup
on Discord all day.
Cup
and I'm
on the
like,
baby hat and as a hat, baby's hat.
Dude, I'm telling you right now,
if I was not concerned
every
about sharing my
Smite content
children's
creator
pictures
that I
online,
know
would, post those
is
for y'all to see.
is crapping bricks right now. They're worried. They're looking for other avenues.
Chibi skins are an interesting question.
Some of them
for
already
why-
jumped ship.
Why haven't we brought over any chibi skins yet? Is what I'm going to interpret that out.
You guys know I've seen the writing on the
chibi
wall
skins
for a
are
long
all
time, and
like tier 4
I still think that
level
Smite 2
skins.
can be successful, but dude, I already started looking into my cooking channel and stuff like that, like what, half a year ago, 6 months ago, because I saw the writing on the wall, dude. I started seeing the trends, and I needed to diversify and just in case the worst case happened, right?
So, from our perspective, it's better to use.
I like him, but I like to see him suffer more.
Getting more gods in the game.
Yeah.
And
yeah, believe it or not, he's probably one of the
our
top
skins
content
that,
creators for Smite.
like more closely ride the rates.
He's probably the
and
top
are,
one.
more like what we used to call like tier 3s in Smite 1.
But he does
because we can
conquest.
technically- or theoretically, we can bring over a lot more of those more quickly.
I don't really
And we
watch
know
him
that,
much.
like,
I watch I've
one of
seen
the
him
biggest
every now
comments
and
we
then.
get is people wanting.
I've interacted with him in the
certain
past. I had a
random
question
skins
for him. He answered it.
And we'd love to get as many of those over as we
He
can.
seems like all right, dude.
So we'd rather kind of move quickly and get a lot of those because there's a lot of fan favorite tier 3s. Super Chrono 64.
They can
I
come
love
to
that
Marvel
skin.
rivals, but I don't want to hear trash
Actually,
rival
I have an
options,
alt in Smite 1.
especially
I
on
haven't said anything
Rocket
about it,
Raccoon.
But literally has only ever played Chronos. And if I don't get Chronos, I dodge. So
Smite 2 is going to succeed, dude. Once they start adding more gods, once they start doing the same things they did with Smite 1, they start doing their freaking spin-offs or what they
But
say,
I
their
can play it in any role,
collaborations and stuff. It's going to bring stuff, but it's not going to happen
yeah, I have
overnight,
a
man.
I'm sorry.
As long as the company can start building revenue to stay afloat long enough until the game starts producing money, they'll be all right. It's all going to be about. It's all going to be based on money, man. The question is, are they going to run out of money before the game is done? You know what I'm saying? That's the big question.
Is there any chance that we can get Paladin's characters in Smite as skins at least? Historically, the two fan bases have kind of had like animosity towards each other, I would say, because everybody thinks that the other game is getting more of the high-res attention and funding than the other one. And it kind of has altered back and forth over the years who people think.
Well, now it's my 2-1, right? So
we did the one skin, the Fernando Ares, and it wasn't very popular. And I guess technically Grover is in both games. But like, I don't think there would be a lot of
this roving market thing that they just implemented
actively played both games.
To a lot of people, it's going to sound stupid,
probably not, but I have seen that request.
It's an attempt. It's not stupid. It's an attempt for them to start generating income. A new way of trying to generate income for Smite 2. So we'll see how it happens. Because people, I'm sure, probably stop buying Ultimate, the Founders Editions. People probably stop buying them because they don't know the future of the game. Why the hell am I going to spend $30 on something that might not be here tomorrow?
I think we were trying to get Twitch drops turned back on today,
but they'll be more willing to spend maybe $2 or $3 for a skin.
Is that we're going to drop Wandering Market.
Wandering Market
coins. So it'd be another way to get Wandering Market coins. Even if you don't have time to play, you can build up a currency.
I see HUD editor a few times. Yes, that's one of the things that we want to make sure that we add to the game relatively soon. I think the biggest hurdle right now is just it seems silly, but we need to save your settings. Like right now, the HUD editor is working.
It went on sale.
It's just not being saved, so we just don't have it on.
I think it was like 25% off or something, like a couple months ago before they went free to play.
Portions, like a phase 1 of the HUD editor. That
I'm not saying they're not going to go on sale again, because they're definitely going to go on sale again.
Yeah, 90%.
The question is when, right?
But
is it going to be Black Friday? Is it going to be a back to school sale? Who knows?
The feature list of a HUD editor.
But yes, you will be able to get the God pack at a discount sooner or later. Hell, they might give us codes to give them away, right? Would that be cool? Do a giveaway for a God pack?
2 that I'm going to answer. Oh, I lost the one, darn it.
Yes, I made Zeus.
There's a question about like what sort of, did we just like, were the people that were let go just thrown on the street, or what did the company do for them?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
So everyone was given 60 days notice, technically, but they are not expected to work those 60 days. They are being paid for the next 60 days, their normal salary. And
that's cool. Okay, so
actually slightly longer than
whoever's up there just came back down probably about 5 notches on the freaking dick meter. So they're not as big as dick as I thought. So that's good.
There is like some kind of like counseling services that we have.
Good.
And I believe there's some job search services. But
Yeah,
I
that's a
don't
lot
really know the
better.
details about that. Our HR team would know more. So, there's no perfect solution.
Yeah, because there are a
these,
bunch of
but,
dicks for firing these people, man.
there was at least something for the people who were affected. Yeah, and then the other thing, I will just say, like, again, there's kind of this. It's really easy to point the finger at the unknown higher up shadow powers, right? And there are. Oh, we got an ad. Oh, chat is upset about the ads.
I ran the before.
Dude, there's no way around it, dude. I have mine on minimum ads, and they still give me freaking ads on both YouTube and Twitch. I have no control over it. If I can turn off my ads on Twitch, I would, because Twitch ads makes me zero money. I don't even want them. But if I turn them off, Twitch puts their own freaking ads on it. So either way, you get ads. It's so stupid.
Oh, that's brutal.
1 minute 6 seconds more. Someone says.
Okay. Well, we'll just chill for another minute.
Yeah.
Sorry for people that got ads.
Apologies. I tried to run them.
I mean, obviously, we're not getting the ads they're talking about because we're watching them, right? So that's another thing. It's sporadic.
Favorite junglers. My favorite junglers in Smite 1 are Hunbots, which is probably my favorite jungler in Smite 2. Tsukiyomi and Bastet.
Tsukiyomi. Well, I feel a lot better for those people. If they got 60-day severance, that's awesome, dude.
Right now. So
that's really good.
There is a high-res level of overseeing the company, right? That has a board, that has, a president, that has a CEO.
Exactly.
But we are not there's not like a shadow cabal that is huge, that is, some unknown people that are, up there, right? Like,
no, it's the CEO and the president.
We are the people that are responsible for the day-to-day operations of.
Yeah, you're called workers.
For the game going forward, which is why we're the people here today talking, right?
Yeah.
And we're the people that are tasked with, making things better, right? So we're
doing what they tell you to do. Yeah, it's called a worker. But who you think does all the big business decisions? Not these guys. These guys are no different than being a hammer or a freaking screwdriver. These guys are, and I don't mean this in a bad way. They're just tools. They're tools of the trade. We need a freaking programmer. Go buy you a programmer. You know what I'm saying? It's like going and buying a hammer.
Looking for +1s.
It's the people up top that make the business decisions. That's all there is to it, dude.
To every skin that we want to pour.
Because I guarantee you, they got big bucks invested.
That really centers.
And if they get a chance to dump this company for big money, trust me, they'll do it in a heartbeat, man. In a heartbeat. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know the guys firsthand, but I've seen it 1,000 times over, dude. Money talks, bullshit walks. That's just the way it is.
Much higher than others.
Especially now when there's so much uncertainty. If Epic, in my opinion, if Epic was to say, hey, we'll buy it for XYZ, and it was a pretty good offer, I bet you they would jump on it, dude. Because, dude, now they got the money. They can walk away from it. They don't have to deal with the drama. And these poor guys would be like, what the hell? I guess we're working for Epic now.
Regarding esports and kind of,
if they even decide to keep them. Because sometimes these people come in and buy these companies, they roll in with their own crew.
Was it not seen as a success, and was that kind of one of the reasons?
I've seen it 1,000 times over, man. It's sad.
The department was kind of affected in the way it was.
I will say that everyone at every level of the company said that Vegas was one of the best run, arguably the best run esports event we have ever done. That the team did an incredible job. There were no major issues. It was a great event. And everything was run really well in the run-up to that event. So
yeah,
it had absolutely no impact on.
With that said, what value did it bring to the company?
A great job with that.
What value did it bring to the company? Did it bring new purchase people buying diamonds? Did it bring any type of revenue? Or did it cost them millions of dollars that they could have used to help develop the game? You know what I'm saying?
Every dollar is a dollar, right? And
that tournament was bullshit. They should have never done it, dude.
In a way to prioritize the continued development of the game above all else. And
that tournament cost them millions of dollars.
Decisions with a lot of great
between
people.
planning the venue,
Publishing got
security. I mean,
think
audio's
we
crap,
basically are publishing at this point.
text. It cost them a couple $1 million, probably a few $1 million to hold that tournament. It was stupid.
Across all the games, not just on Smite. You know, we basically like any like core development, you know, positions were affected first, and then from there it was like, how do we do the best we can with?
But the problem is they probably planned it so far in advance that they had deposits they can get back out of it. I bet you that's what happened. Because a lot of those venues you got to get like a year in advance, 6 months in advance.
Never an option of how do we.
And it's a matter of the best, you know, the least of the worst.
You know, make
do we cut our losses and lose the money in deposits, or we just go through with it and bite the bullet? You know what I'm saying? I bet you that's probably what happened.
Which is hard and is a very tough conversation if you've never been a part of that.
But they still shouldn't have scheduled something that early in the game's development. I think that was not smart. But that's just my personal opinion.
I would say that the Vegas tournament went better than expected, honestly.
And another reason, why the hell did they go to Vegas? These guys are based in Atlanta. Atlanta is an international hub. Atlanta has so many. It's like the mother of freaking MLM conventions. People doing all these damn MLM conventions down there. All these people doing all these. Man, there's so many conventions going on. They got BlizzCon, GameCon, freaking whatever con. You know what I'm saying? Why did they spend the money to go to Vegas when they could have done it right there in Atlanta? Atlanta had the international airports. They got the hotels. They got everything there. It would have saved them so much money. Because they wanted to go screw off in Vegas. That's why. I mean, whatever, dude. I'm getting my old man rant.
You know, the decisions that we had to make were not as a result of the esports event or Vegas.
So many people could have drove. I mean, Atlanta's like the center right there. There's so many states where people could have drove. They wouldn't have to fly in.
Players, and that's why we're gonna, you know, that's why we're shifting our focus and making sure that we're servicing core players and then growing new players from there.
It is what it is. I would have drove there. I'm like 6 hours away, 4 to 6 hours away.
The best one that I think I've ever been a part of. It was so intimate. Like, I think I was talking to people nonstop, whereas before in other places and other venues, we wouldn't even have had an opportunity to talk with like the fans and the community and the players of the game. I think that, you know, that just shows that an event like that Vegas event and how it was run and the people that we had running it was just.
I've never seen anybody question how the event was run. Everybody said the event went without a hitch, whatever. My question is, why did the event even exist in the first place this early in the development? What benefit did they get out of it? What benefit were they looking to get out of it? That's what I wanted.
Let a couple more questions come in. This is not the last Titan Talk, right? Isaiah and I plan to keep these going. I think, you know, we will continue to answer this kind of question. I assume that they will continue to come up for a long time, but we do want to try and focus more on, you know, the game itself, because that's
exposure
what we're all focused on at this point, right?
There was not enough advertising to make it worthwhile for exposure.
There were some
there was not enough hoopla behind it.
We wanted them to go, and we were trying to figure out how
for any gained exposure.
And we're figuring out how to prioritize.
I cannot see any more exposure to them now than before. Hell, I didn't even know it happened, to tell you the truth. I mean, I don't even remember it going. I knew it was going to happen, but I slept through. It's like sleeping through a show, dude. I mean, they're not better off now than they were before. If anything, they're probably worse off.
But we're back in the grind of like, how do we make the game better? Because that's how we get through this, right? So again, we'll continue to answer these questions as they come up, but
it was too early in the development, man.
As much as we can.
That's something you do once the game is like ready to go. You know what I'm saying? You don't throw a freaking tournament on a game that's an alpha. That's just ridiculous. And it was an alpha back then, if I'm not mistaken, because they just went beta with Bear Samity.
Legal Flame of Valhalla stealing Smite assets.
Well,
but like I said, dude, it is what it is.
My favorite.
That's just my 2
stealing of
cents.
Smite assets, by the way, was the raw America on the fireworks.
Fireworks, I think, is
that
the best.
was actually
My
amazing.
favorite is we got a letter to the legal email one time with this guy who got a tattoo for, I think in like New Zealand or something, who got this huge Zeus tattoo, I think all over his back and like massive. And the tattoo artist had told him that he had come up with the drawing himself and that it was unique, but it was really like the Smite Zeus. And like he wanted us to like sue the tattoo artist for stealing our work, because he's like, everywhere I go, people ask me if I'm a Smite fan, and I don't even know what this name is. I just wanted a Zeus tattoo. So yeah, that's the best.
Wow.
I've heard of.
Question from YouTube. Do we think that the demand from players is too much?
Dude, I would sue the tattoo artist, because now that guy's doing copyright infringement every time he takes off his shirt in public. Because that's why freaking Tyson got sued by his tattoo artist when they did The Hangover because of his face tattoo. You know what I'm saying?
I will say, I think that
because the tattoo artist is supposed to own the rights. So Smite really, these high-risk kids sue that guy if they wanted to.
Thought the player base would be a little bit more open to
not the tattoo artist, but the actual guy.
As we went from Smite 1 to Smite 2, but we have been more constrained to Smite 1 parody than we thought we were going to be in this project. Like, our goal was always to make it like Smite 1-y, right? It wasn't like, let's make a completely different game. Like we, from the start, we were like, well, we don't want to do a game with verticality because that's not Smite, right? It won't feel like Smite. But
it's a bit petty, yeah,
like the
for sure.
You know, still.
I can't believe they sued Mike Tyson for that either. That was so stupid.
It's been months, guys.
But
like, it's
I don't know. I don't know what the outcome was. I just remember reading it and I was like, what the crap,
a lot of people
dude?
are still very like committed to the way things work.
How can you put something on your body that belongs to somebody else? That's so dumb.
It's worse, and it won't be perceived.
Let me
as
put a
better.
billboard on my face of your work,
if a new eyes look at it and think it's
so
better,
dumb.
doesn't necessarily mean that it's better in the eyes of Smite 1 players.
The way I see it, if it's on your body, it belongs to you. You know what I'm saying?
It's been.
He relieved his
balance.
copyright as soon as he put it on your body.
Want their Smite. You change it too much, and you lose the
I
core
digress.
players without re-engaging another player, a player base. Then you're kind of just not making a game for anyone, honestly, at that point. You know?
I'll answer this one. Will we change our porting policy for Smite 2, or will we continue with the characters while only making minor adjustments? Also, please give Guan Yu a sharp Guan Dao. I think I said that right. And our plan is still to focus on the +1s to existing characters' kits. Again, going back to kind of what I just said, like, if we change a character too drastically from Smite 1, we just get more negative feedback than positive feedback. So we would rather take the kit and figure out how we can evolve it through some additions rather than things that can be viewed as pure takeaways. Yeah. And then we're looking at the aspects as kind of an opportunity to provide more of a shift.
That's why they came out with the aspects.
I think
So all the
freaking
freaking Smite nerds would shut the hell up and let them build the character like they wanted to without hearing all their crying and negativity through social media. That's exactly what it was, dude. There's so many damn crybabies out there.
We can't necessarily
The game doesn't go the way they want it to, and then they start bashing the game. They don't understand that ripple effect of that negativity, dude, could definitely tank the game.
But his old
Nobody wants to play a game that people think
just, like,
sucks.
in the air,
He's pretty
kinda
early.
yeah,
But
just floating in the air.
yeah, but I have played.
So I guess
a lot
the
of
aspect
Guan
thing
Yu
was a
since
smart
one.
idea.
He feels like an early rough version of Guan Yu, which is where he should feel right now.
I will say, Smite 2 Guan Yu won't be anywhere near as OP as.
Yeah, and they have the loudest
Guan Yu,
megaphone,
you say that
right?
now,
A few
Travis.
things.
However, there have been a few Smite 2 gods that have
What really
destroyed
just irks me is when you see these people talking crap,
the gods.
you know,
but
crying about
there's been a
something,
couple
and then
that-
you look
that
at their
took Guan
freaking
Yu
Steam account and they only got like maybe 30 hours in the game or 100 hours in the game.
pretty
You know what I'm
bad.
saying?
But,
It's
yeah,
like, what the
Guan Yu, I
hell?
can't wait.
You damn,
And then,
we're over here with
do you want
5,
to
6,000,
question,
10,000,
or-
15,000
or-
hours in the game. You're going to tell us? I feel like slapping the crap out of those people, man. It blows my mind, dude.
No.
They're out there bitching and moaning on all social media, and it's like, dude, you barely even scratched the surface of what the game's about.
It's hard to.
But I mean, it is. I guess everybody
teams,
has the right to their own opinion.
Those are stretch. Well, let's just say stretch goal. Yeah.
You got over 9,000 hours of Smite 1. I don't know what the hell I got. I'd have to check my Steam.
Very difficult to do the show.
It's probably not that much. I'd say probably like 5.
Yeah, I don't.
Cool. Okay. All right. Well,
Call it.
yeah, I think we will call it. But I guess I'll just kind of wrap up and say,
Smite 2, I'm already at 302. I probably got like
you all.
50 hours, 100 hours, if I'm lucky on Smite 2.
There are many communities that would tune in 3 times a week for an hour to listen to us bullshit, right? Like,
yeah, there are a lot of entitled people on social media. I agree 1,000%.
And we really appreciate your support, right? And I think that like the way that we approach development, when you think about a lot of games, you don't know the faces of the people that make those games. Maybe, one person, right? But, when something like this happens on a game where you know all the people and you feel like, maybe they're not your friends, but like, they're familiar faces at least, right? Mm-hmm. Like it just makes it harder for a community. So we don't plan to change the way we interact with y'all, even if it does make it harder sometimes, because, we love you guys and we want to be part of the community too, right?
Dude, but now they got to be careful what they say.
Just keep meandering and bullshitting for forever.
You got 143 hours in Smite 1? Dude, I'd be lucky to have freaking 43 hours in Smite 1. I mean, Smite 2.
Inbound wants to know what Alani we have.
I haven't been playing it, dude. The only time I play is when I'm on stream, really.
Cherry Twist.
Yes.
Until they come out with auto builds.
I didn't know that I was supposed to get.
Yeah. I just don't enjoy it as much.
That's
my bad.
But yeah, no, definitely appreciate you all very much.
And someone was asking about this sweatshirt. Oh my gosh, it is so comfortable. Yeah. It's like when I really want to just be super chill, I just put this on because it's like a comfort thing, It's like your blanket,
Right, yeah.
Curl up in a ball. Yeah, it's so good.
All right.
Well, I tell you what, if anything out of what the hell we heard today, the best thing I heard is that those people that got fired got at least 60 days of pay without having to work. That they got 60 days paid time to find another job. That was the best thing I heard out of this whole damn stream.
Let us know what you think of Rama and Soul aspect, and there's another aspect.
Amaterasu
aspect. Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
The rest of it was just them.
We appreciate you guys. We're gonna keep
going in circles.
Yeah. All right, chat. Take care. We'll see y'all on Wednesday, 1 p.m. ET for the next edition of Titan Talk. Until then, take care of yourselves. See you.
Yeah, we will not be streaming that one. All right, so that is all this. That's it, man. So Smite 2 is not dead. Don't let people tell you it's dead. If anything, now they're going to be even more focused on Smite 2 because they've seen what could happen to them if it's not a success, right? At the end of the day, this is these people's livelihoods. So they're going to be working hard. So we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, they just started this rotating market thing. I really haven't seen it, but it is a way for them to generate. I can see why they did it. It's a new way for them to try to start generating additional income. Obviously, the Founders Editions aren't selling probably as much as they would want them to. They don't have a lot of skins for the people to start buying diamonds to purchase them. So this is a new way of doing it, I guess. And I mean, anything is better than nothing, right? So I'm glad that they're at least trying. So don't believe the hype, dude. There's a lot of hate mongers out there that don't know shit about this game, but out there saying how it's dying and all that crap. And regurgitating stupidity like that, all it's going to do is hurt the game even more, right? We need people to play the game. But at the same time, we can't be stupid either. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's good that we tune into these streams so we get the, not the hearsay, but straight from their mouths on what's going on. But even then, take it with a grain of salt, because like I told you guys early in the stream, these guys are at the bottom of the food chain, man. These guys only know what these guys up here want them to know. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's not that these guys are trying to lie to you. It's the information they got, they held to be true because it came up from up top. Whether it's true or not, only this guy knows, or this gal knows. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, always keep that information they share with you, take it with a grain of salt too, because whether they know it or not, it might not hold true. We don't know. But as it stands right now, I'm not too worried about Smite 2 yet. I really like what happened between Baron Samity and when they went freaking free to play. The game feels a lot better now. So if you haven't tried it lately, you might want to try it. All right, so that's pretty much it, man. So again, I haven't got. Let me check my email real quick. I haven't got any codes yet from Smite for any type of giveaways as of yet. No, I don't see nothing yet. But again, keep an eye on our Discord. Keep an eye on our X.com. Sunday we're gonna be doing our regular Smite 2 stream. If I get codes this week, then this Sunday will be a giveaway stream. If not, then it'll be the next Sunday, what have you, right? But hey, man, appreciate everybody coming by and watching this. As you can see, it wasn't doom or gloom, right? Again, appreciate everybody coming by. I'm Darkgarza, the OG on GC. We'll catch y'all next time.